Oh my God, well, howdy there. Maybe I'll adjust the lighting in a little while. I don't know what to do about it. That's the lighting I have in here. Maybe I could turn it. Oh, hi, I'm Zen. I don't know if you can see me. You're new here. Stick around. We're gonna do We're gonna have a conversation about the grand deception of the Grand Canyon, the pyramids all over the world, the redwoods, the giant redwood forest, where the swamps are, the we'll get into the out of Africa theory. Oh, we're gonna do a lot. We're gonna really explore some things today. What's up, Jessica Bird? What are you doing, little birdie? What are you doing over there? Yeah, I don't really have a lot of options for seating where I am right now. I have like a two chairs and a table over there, but the chairs are not that comfortable. But yeah, we'll talk. I want to talk about the obviousness of the misinformation we've received about everything, and how people are taught to unthink. The people are not taught how to think because you know how to think as a child, and then you go to school to be regimented and segmented in your thinking processes. What's your name? What's up, Matthew? I know y'all want to see my stupid face, but give me a second to hear the lights. Let me see what I can do. Give me 1 second. I mean, I think I can. I think I can adjust this blind over here. It might help a little bit. Maybe. I just like natural light. I'm not a big fan of any kind of unnatural lighting situation. Does that help? You can kind of see me now. This is the option I got to keep my phone plugged in and the setup I have here. What's up, Matthew James Maxwell? What are you doing? Yeah, this is yeah, my workspace can be as big as the entire outdoor landscape, but I need a plug to do this today because I'm a little low on juice right now. So I mean, maybe we'll go outside and you guys can explore some of New Orleans with me. We could do it. Maybe I'll do two shows for you today because I think I have to go talk to somebody about a place to move to. So we'll see. Anyways, okay, so let's get into. Oh, it is so nice outside. That's like when people like I have offers to stay in different cities. Uh, like with like come stay, you're good. And but the ability to live here with the weather and the like, I could walk us like we've had such beautiful wet weather for the past couple weeks. Just walk outside and it's sunny and there's a river there and there's like it's so beautiful. And music, like I need that. I can't. I would feel completely. What's the word? Maybe inoculated. Is that the right word? Where if I all I had to do was because I've lived in cabins, I've lived in mountains, I've lived in even at the beach, and at the beach during the winter months. Oh man, does that suck royally? Because no one's there. You have the locals, but the locals, most of them are old and they only have those houses for the summer, anyways. So they dip. Then you go to the bars you used to go to. You're not going to the beach; it's too cold. Ain't shit to do. I need like there's things to do 24 hours a day here. Anyways, enough about that. We'll maybe have that. Maybe we'll talk about that a little later. I'm just using up a little time here for people to show up so I can get into this conversation about, as I said, the grand delusion. Maybe we'll get into the deluge. We'll get into the what I want to do. The Grand Canyon, the out of Africa theory, swamplands, the whole idea of mud floody Chitaria stuff, which is obvious to anybody that has spent any time considering these ideas. It's something I've touched on before, but we'll go in here. What did you do for your week off? Anything fun? Anything awesome? Did you vacate? Did you vacation? All right, so here let's get into this. The idea that um when we go to these propaganda institutions, you call them school systems, and we get to sit down in a very uncomfortable position and shut up, don't say, don't ask. We have the answers, and we're shown all of this material and given all of these maps, and the pictures might be real, and the map we're looking at is like perhaps not. How do we know? I mean, the pictures of the Grand Canyon, I'm sure are real. The pictures that we see, the information on the pages, like a sentence might be. Maybe I'm going too fast at this. Okay, the system itself is set up to make us go, yes, of course it's that way. So that after a number of years, we don't even question it. But yet, right in our face, there is a Grand Canyon. And they say, well, that was formed, it used to be a river millions of years ago. And here's how the river carved this thing out. I don't know. I mean, why is that there in that location as the only place like that? There's not, you go there as a destination. It's just right there. Why is that there? And it's so much different than everywhere else. Why did we go to the redwood forest? And that's the only place with those giant trees. Unless you go to somewhere in the northern parts of uh, Europe, but not even that big. The redwood, it's just sitting right there. Why is that there? Why is that there? Why is the swamps at the end of the Mississippi? Why right there? Why do we have? Why are we only learning that on Easter Isle? Why do they call it Easter? Easter Isle? Those heads. They've just started. We were just told for years it was just the heads, and then they started digging, and digging and digging, and realized there was whole bodies, and they're way bigger. So where did that land come from? Where did why does the Grand Canyon look like it does? And we know there's entryways into the Grand Canyon, like into the things. What kind of moronic people would have just started going, I got nowhere to live. I'm gonna take in this barren landscape. I'm gonna take a hammer and a chisel and start digging out this rock form to go. Doesn't that make you kind of suspicious about the narrative that we're delivered? Doesn't the idea that that Silicon Valley is where the redwood forest is and why those trees might be so big? Isn't it weird that there's the Great Plains of the United States where it's flat as anything? Obviously it's flat. but there's no trees or anything. What happened? Why are there no trees? Why are there no trees? This is a question I've asked 1,000 million zillion times to people. Like, why are trees as old as they are? Something must have occurred to eliminate trees from being bigger. Trees would grow indefinitely. You realize this. If you look it up on the internet, it'll say, "Oh, these type of trees will live to this many years, this many years." No, that's not how that works. Every type of tree would pretty much live indefinitely given the proper environment. It's environmental. So why are these trees so big? Why is the Grand Canyon? It's flat on top, and there's all of these entryways into the rocks. May have these things somehow been, uh, melted might be the right word. Plasma. You could fry a computer board. You know how to do that? There's a way using electricity to do that. You like if you just think of fire, fire's hot, but electricity is a lot hotter. Plasma, like what is that? What's plasma rays? We always see those in the movies. Boom, 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 plasma guns. There's some. Why did we only learn that there are pyramids in America? We always say they were in the South America, like Mexico, the Aztecs, the Mayans. You know the word Aztec is the word Texas backwards. Like if you, well, not backwards, but Aztec is Texas. It's a anagram, which is A to Z technology because the Aztecs apparently came up with. They were the language builders. Weird stuff. And there was certain Native American, you'd say Native American tribes that I'll just get right to the point. The ancient Egypt is America. There is no out of Africa theory. The idea of the out of Africa theory is to try to um, staple something. It's a white man's theory. You know this, right? Like the person that came up with it and propagated it was a white guy. And I use that term loosely, like it's not skin color, it's an attitude. Just so you know when I say white or black, which I avoid using. I normally will say melanated or non-melanated. But in this fact, it's what the out of Africa theory does is it tries to stabilize in someone's mind the idea that black, and I use air quotes on this for you, people are from Africa, yet they're not, and they should go back to Africa, even though they were apparently slaves that were brought over here by the boatloads by white men. But if you really understood the concept, the word slave comes from Slavic, and and the the island right where the Statue of Liberty is, which isn't on land, by the way, because it's not allowed to be. It's built there. It's like liberty means what a seaman is given as, would you like to get off the ship? And they'll give them liberty to go upon land. You may go upon. So Statue of Liberty is not about freedom. It's about giving the the headmaster of the ship authority over the seamen that are on the ship to come on the land. Okay, so the Slavic people were the slaves. Slavic people came over on the boats, not melanated people. They were already here. So it disassociates black people. The out of Africa theory disassociates black people from realizing their home and heritage is already in the Americas and they're the Native Americans. They were already here. And the population discrepancy, it will show you. If you go to any major city, tell me if there's more white people or black people. I don't care what you read. Just go there. Go to Atlanta. Go to Baltimore. Go, pick a city. There's more. They didn't just, hey, let's just throw these slaves onto land and the coast of America and enslave them. That's not what happened. The anabaptic theory is to enforce an idea that melanated people are from there, and that there's no history or custom here whatsoever, other than dumb Native Americans that they give you an idea that we're uh, just redskins and they were scalping people and they didn't know what they were doing. Yet we started to find there are pyramids in not just Mexico but in North America. We're starting to find out there's older land masses, and the interesting part, and why I bring up this, the Egyptology, the pharaohs, um, the the idea that they try to give us about all of civilization came from Africa or came from this Egyptian thing. It's wrong. And I'm trying to explain why. Because the pyramids, you can see them clearly in Europe because they're if we keep going unearthing things, you have to go down farther, which means it was built before what's on top of it. What's on top of it, where they learned how to make pyramids, was from the Americas. And then they went to Egypt and built pyramids there later in the storyline. Why do you think the dollars here have so much Egyptian symbolism? To have a dollar bill, you know what a dollar looks like. Why do you think there's so many? Uh, the, uh, I thought we were American, dog. I thought we was in America, dude. The farther we dig down, the more we see that there are older, bigger. The biggest pyramid on the planet is in South America that we found out. But I would suspect if you were to dig deeper into the land that the United States is upon, you'd find that the mountains, the rivers, the what do you think? What do you think the Grand Canyon? I know I'm trying to cover a lot of topics here, so if you're not following, understandable. But you know how I talk, and I'm really trying to collapse a bunch of things into one here. If you really think the Grand Canyon was carved by water, you're foolish. Why would it choose that path? You don't think those are melted buildings that somebody's just carving out into it, or that was those were already there and it just didn't get fully melted. Go melt yourself some electronics. Go plug a go. Have you ever look at? I'll give you another example. The Ozarks. Go ahead, go to your Google search engine mappy things. Go to Google Earth, whatever you got to do, and look up the Ozarks. And then look at the shape. Look at the shape of how the water, where the water containment is, like the water in the islands and all this. Look at the shape of that. That's not a natural formation. That's the exact formation that if you were to take a piece of wood and put a nail in it here and here, and you were connect two, uh, here's your positive, here's your negative, and put that together, it would make this shape to the other one and burn it into it and carve it out in the exact shape of the Ozarks. Not a natural formation. And the Ozarks are huge, huge. Where are they? In the Arkansas? Arkansas? And why do we say Arkansas when it's clearly Kansas with an AR in front? Give me a second. Let me see what y'all have to say about the dumb shit I'm talking about here. Jessica, okay. A little hanging out with the kids, cool stuff. Yeah, there's another question. I'll put that up there. How did they cut the trees down? What's up, Divine? Oh, Melissa, what are you doing? How did they cut the trees down? Yeah. Could you imagine like what it would take to make one of those saws and have two guys on either side trying to cut down a redwood tree? That's insane. That's not how that works. There you go. What did you say? Memphis? Sorry, I skipped over. Memphis is the word Memphiseed. If you look at the names in America in the lands of the Americas, they would dispute that it was named after other places. But if you look all over America, you'll find the names of places that are in Egypt. But what if it's the other way around? That's what I'm trying to say. If we know without question that everything we've been given is upside down, inside out, backwards, in every way. Black literally means white, and white literally means black. Go look it up. BLACK is bleach, which is blank, which means empty, and it was what you'd call what we now call white, and white literally meant black demon in reverse. It's just everything in language has been reversed. Everything about the Slavic trade reversed. When black people were going to the islands, going to Africa, not coming from Africa, not coming from the islands to here, the other way around. White people weren't going there and just going, "Hey, we got five white guys, and we're gonna kidnap uh, 250 strong black men and put them on a ship." And the numbers don't work out. Go look up what's his name. Dane is his name Dane Calloway? What's his? I can't. I'm sorry. I don't remember his name off the top. I just know his work pretty well. And none of the numbers work out. None of the math works out in any of this. Everything is backwards. So why wouldn't just everything you think you know, flip it around? I don't know how much easier to say to people. The Mississippi. Look at I've explained this before in stories. The Mississippi River is equivalent to the Nile River. Now, which way did it occur? Because if you go up to, there's a spot up in Illinois where these two rivers meet, and there's a town there, much the same, because the word means the same. It's called Cairo or Cairo. So Cairo, Egypt, it means where the place of two rivers come together. And if you look at a map of Cairo in America, Cairo over there, it's the same exact. It's where the meeting points of two rivers come and make a river that goes down this way. And how did who so they are they suggesting that Egyptians came here and named things? No, no one's ever said that. But how did it get named that? If Cairo is bustling today in Egypt, but it's not here, wouldn't it be the other way around? As if they then took the idea from here and went there, and as civilization dwindled here, it went somewhere else and just renamed it by the ideas they already had from this place. It's all backwards. I'm telling you. Utah. What up, Melissa? Yeah, the Utah. I do not get off the top of my head, but yeah, I really implore people to go look at the shape and the towns and how that all the Nile and the Mississippi are essentially the same thing. And then go look at how a natural pond, I suppose, or a river might form, might be the the things that we might consider natural occurrences. I mean, obviously, water will break something down over time. This we'll call that a natural occurrence. But then go look at the Ozarks and tell me that's a natural formation, and you'd be wrong. You'd be 100. You would be. It would be like you ever talk to somebody that is a pathological liar? You would have to pathologically lie to yourself to look at the Ozarks and say that's a natural formation. That was a clearly not natural occurrence, meaning there was some energy or force behind it that caused that to occur. And then if you were to once you get to that, everything then it will destroy your entire concept of where you live because then you'd have to accept that the earth might be a motherboard that we live on top of. We don't live inside of a computer system, we live on top of a board. That the only way you can make those lakes, and there's other places too that have these. There's others that I've seen. Those it's not a natural. It's a electronic. It's how electricity works. It looks like a ziggity zaggity, like just like you'd see in the sky, like plasma electric rays on the ground. And the only way that's occurring, not occurring in nature. Nature doesn't do that. Nature is a curvy, feminine. It's like this. That shit is not like that. And then once you realize like that's been there for a long time, you'd have to come to the conclusion that it was made that way by something, not by just oh well, not just like God did it, man, or not just well that's just how nature does that. You can't show me why the redwood forests are where they are and the only place they are. You can't explain to me why the swamps are literally just at the end of the Mississippi. Nowhere else? There might be some swamps somewhere. Where? Why the swampy marshlands? I mean, but why is it so right there? Why is the Grand Canyon the only Grand Canyon? And why is it shaped that way? Why is it so flat on top? And here's one more thing for these idiots out here that are like, well, everybody only lived to 30 years old in the 1800s. That's how I feel like they talk inside of their head. And then when they talk, when they say it, I'll be like, everybody lived till 30 in the 1800s. Then by logical progression, you'd have to go backwards. And how long were they living in 1200? So you're saying in the 1200s, people were living to 12 years old and they were still building the Sistine Chapel and these giant buildings? So they lived to 30, but modern technology and medicine, dude, we live longer. So you lived to 72. Good job. But you only lived to 30 then. So extrapolate backwards. It's called backwards mapping. You'd have to go backwards farther. No, no, it was always 30 until modern medicine. Okay, sure. Fine. Fine. People lived to 30 in the 1200s. Okay. How do they build how do you get away with just saying that and then point to a castle or some old just these beautiful huge buildings and churches and steeples and with these huge doorways with the handle that's up there that you couldn't even open if you wanted to, that you had to cut a smaller door in to get inside. And there's these beautiful painted buildings, like these domes that you live into 30, and you don't even have a car, so you don't have steam engines. You have no technology because you're an idiot, and the whole civilization was idiotic and so dumb. But living to 30 and going, yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and build the coolest things you've ever seen. Do you know how moronic that story is? Yeah, that's what 90% of people believe. You throw a wrench in there, which is like I'm chucking wrenches into every argument that everybody has about any stupid thing that they believe because your belief sucks. It's called BS. That's your belief system and it's bullshit. I don't want to hear it. It's garbage. Throw it out. It's stupid. It doesn't. It makes no logical uh, progress into how we are, where we are in the construction of reality. Old buildings, uh, doorways to entryways to buildings that are below ground, windows that are below ground. None of this makes any sense unless the Ozarks don't make any sense. The Grand Canyon makes no sense. The Redwoods make no sense. The Great Plains of America make no sense at all. Just no trees right there, just no trees. And then everywhere else has trees that are 100, 200, 300 years old. Why? I thought we've been on this earth for a billion years. Yes, I'm science guy. I'm Smy guy, the science guy. A billion years we've been here. But these trees didn't learn how to exist. They just fell over and died, and then didn't grow again. There used to be trees here. There used to be lions here. What is this dude? What are these people talking about? And you all believe them. And that's what they do. That's what it's mind control to some degree. Uh, it's like how, like the mental slavery to be so caught up into the web of bullshit and lies. It's amazing. I mean, who would do that other than people that didn't really care about you? But yet, but yet, here's what I don't understand about people. Everyone you know will say you can't trust a politician, and they know that their food is poisoned, and they know that the pharmaceutical companies have been multiple, like just there are trillions of dollars worth of. But well, yeah, we're giving everyone cancer, and it's proven. Like, okay, whatever. And yet the next day they'll go, but Big Pharma's our friend, and you need to go get the thing. And these politicians are here, they're on your side, and they're trying to help. It's the other team. It's no good. We're the good team. Like this flag flying fuckery, this buffoonery. Your flag sucks. All of them do. Take your flag and shove it up your ass. That's where it should be. It's stupid. I gotta change up some things here. There we go. Melissa, Pharaoh means sun ruler of the solar plexus. Interesting. Somebody was explaining it as Pharaoh means like fair. O is a symbol of a woman, an O. So one or an I is a penis. This is why if you see an I, stands up erect. If you use a lowercase I, it's got a dot. That's the semen coming out. Yes. So an I is one. I is one. A zero or an O is feminine. So a fair O is the pharaoh. And so some people make the claim that the pharaohs were actually women and not men. Who knows? Jessica. Yeah, it's really sometimes I do talk scatterbrained, I suppose, because there is no real quality linear way of describing what I could explain. It would take years to explain what I'm saying, and I would have to do it chapter. It'd be voluminous. So trying to, I gotta kind of like web some shit together to make a map, to build a map of what's going on, because there's so many things that are it's weaves together, because it's like when someone, if you're telling someone something, their mind will immediately go, well, what about that? So I'm trying to capture that part too. Like when I go from like saying, what do we do out of Africa theory, to ancient Egypt, to the redwood forest, to, I mean, we even at Yellowstone, Yogi Bear. What, putting that all together it's the way the mind works, anyways. Talk to a child. You already know this. Circuit cities. I remember Circuit City. You wish you could explain like you. I won't try to act like. Caro is a place of combat, a Seth and Horus. Um, Perhaps, I mean, I guess combat, if two rivers came together or two rivers collided, but Cairo, from my teachings and understandings, were a place of meeting. So I guess meeting, battle, combat. I don't know if you're getting that from a PEI reference or like uh, whatever that etymological research. It's etymology is a fun game because you can literally you can walk back words through language to find that if I stop here, I'll call it something, but if I go back a little, like two more steps, I'll find something else. And so it's really hard to map back to the most ancient of languages and what something meant originally. It's really hard to do. So what I learned was using English in the format that it is. Like you have to understand the value of each letter, which is it's still going to disassociate. So if I take the letters, I form a word, and that word makes a sentence. I'm constructing something. Most people think of words. They don't think of letters. They don't think the letter has a value. They think the word has a value. And we've talked about this plenty of times. They can here's a can. They know what a can is. They know what a can does. But they don't know what a C is or what a C does. They don't know what an A is. They don't know what an A does. They don't know what an N is. They don't know what an N does. Yet they all must have implicit value, just like a C, A, and N. So a three, a one, and a what's an N? 14? Well, whatever. So mathematical value to come to the conclusion of here's 3, 1, and 14. There's 18. That's can. Can means 18, right? Whatever. I mean, whatever the math is. So when people speak words, they're speaking words, not recognizing that every sound and syllable and letter has a value unto itself. Until you know that part, you can't even start to decode English. And then you'd have to go back to understand etymology. Like, what direction are you going to go? I mean, once you go to let's go to French. Yeah, but the French didn't come up with that word. Somebody came before the French. The French just changed it. And then we got to get back to the Tower of Babel and why babies babble? Why is the Bible babble? Why is the Tower of Babel? What was the idea when the gods came down and screwed up our language, and so people would babble to each other, so that we had no common language? What up, F-Man? Pharaoh's feminine for Sarah, yes. Okay, which direction? Let me crush this beer and give me some motivation. Give me a topic here. Which way do you want to go? We can continue on with the conversation. I just don't know what direction to go right now. We're 40 minutes in here. You guys remember there is a donation link if you learned something or if I'm slightly entertaining. Even if today I'm not as entertaining as usual, um, feel free to Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, blah blah blah. It's right there, and I appreciate it. And I will be needing that by perhaps months, and hopefully I'll be able to acquire a place with a buddy of mine. I'm gonna see. I'll talk to you guys about that if you want. So it's one of my it's one of the it's somebody I've known from New Orleans for almost as long as I've lived here, and he's a military cat that now lives like he plays the djembe. You guys have seen him, my friend Chicago, and he's just he's a splendid human. He just he has his PTSD and his traumas, which I mean I guess anybody in the military will have quite a bit of. So he's kind of he can be a little recluse. That's my only like I was talking to him yesterday and I was like, dude, I'll get a place with you because he's got like I know he doesn't fully like where he lives and he would like to be in a new position. And I asked him a while ago. Funny enough, I asked him like couple months ago, and he's like, yeah, he's down, and he's he's just goofy. He's just So I was like, dude. So I was talking to him yesterday. I was like, dude, I was like, could you not like get in fights as often as you do? Like he literally gets in fights. Like he's the happiest, most jovial person. I mean, just get in a fight with somebody in the corner. Like, dude, stop doing that. Like, I don't want to like have to wake up every other fucking day and go, is my friend fucking like knocked out in the street or what? I mean, it would be hilarious, but that's one option. And another buddy that's he now see that see every is everybody a maniac? I'm the most sane of these people. This other dude works in City Hall actually, but he's also crazy wobbly like he's the opposite. Like Chicago is like darkest night, my age. This kid's like 23, I think. Professional job, suit and tie, but probably, probably. I'm just gonna say probably goes to all the coke parties with people in the government. So that's my two options right now. Who to live with next? Jessica, no worries, no worries. I'll figure something out somehow. So that's why two options right now. But my other would be to just fucking like really all I need is a small space. I don't eat much. I just want a space for to throw my clothes and sleep indoors. That's about it. I mean, I'm not saying that from the level of like like it's like when I really consider it anyways. I'm outside most of the time anyways. I'd rather be. There's not much reason for me to be inside of a house. It's basically just to keep the rain off, to store a few items. Like that's it. Hmm. Interesting though. What up? It is I haven't seen you in a little bit. How you been? 39 sounds old. Is that how old you are now? Youngster? Yeah, I've noticed that in a few ways I've definitely aged a lot since hmm, since the you know what happened. The whole thing for the last 2.5 years. Because so many weird things happen. Not like I didn't get sick per se. But everybody around me, all my friends lost jobs, had to move, relocate, blah blah blah. So that sucks. And then there was nowhere to go to hang out. That sucks. And so and I've noticed that what am I, 40, 43? Yeah, 43 now. Yeah. Like I have a couple extra grays in my beard that weren't there even a year ago because like 2 years ago I had some gray and then I was a lot of piss fasting and then they went away and lately um they come back grays in my hair. Not good, not good. It's like my favorite book, the Jitterbug Perfume by Tom Robbins. Jitterbug Review, man. What he talks about, like if you don't know the book, highly suggest reading it. If you can find one, if you can find an audio version, send it to me, please. I don't say please, but I'm gonna go and just do that right now. Yeah, the Tom Robbins audiobook of that I've been trying to find because I've read the book and I hate reading. It's just it's just so it's overrated. It really is. Reading is overrated. I'm a good reader. Like I can obviously I write something down, I can figure out what it says. I'm not dyslexic, dude. It's like I'd rather just listen to it. It makes more sense. Uh, what? Jessica, you said you didn't want I didn't want to my whole life. You ended up doing that? Damn. Well, I say I know people I know a few people everyone that I know that didn't get didn't get ill in any way. Everybody that did, whether they admit it or not, they're like I don't know what their sickness was, but they were sick frequently afterwards. And I get it. So a lot of them were, you got a job paying you salary, you got to take care of kid, you got to do this and that. Like you're fucking backed in a corner. Like what's your choice? Not have that job because you didn't get a tallywhacked? That's a tough decision. Not only tough, it's not even. It's almost a non-decision. Understandable, but um, I mean the recourse of that is like literally. Somebody I know was sick so frequently. Somebody that I know very very intimately. That I know for years, never sick. Then sick all of the time, all the time. Goes to sleep mad early, stress. I mean, it could be stress, could be whatever, but throat colds and sneezing and sniffles and aches. And I was like, what is going on here? What's up, Jason? What did I say, Jason? Staring near the sun's. um, hey, here's what you can do instead of staring. Like if it bothers you to stare directly into the sun, go to where there's a tree and stare through the tree leaves. That way, it dissipates it a little bit. I mean, and especially if you don't get up, like I don't get up at the crack of dawn. If you get up at the crack of dawn, the sun is the farthest from you. So staring at it is easy. And it's nice because it will, stimulate your pineal gland, clean out your eye boogers, and, you'll get a little watery eye and then clean that out. You know what I'm saying? But if you get up if you're up any other time, maybe you're on a lunch break, find a tree and look through the leaves. That works. Also, also you could just stare at the sun with your eyes closed because obviously, if you close your eyes and lights are on versus lights are off, you can still see. This is only a thin sheet of skin. I mean, have you ever taken a light ball, a flashlight, and put it on your hand? You can see through the other side. It goes right through your hand. So, what do you think? Just this thin flap of skin over your eyes. Just stare at the sun that way. Not as beneficial, but that works. Peace out, Melissa. Hey, yeah, the hurricane, the what's it called? Hurricane? You know, Cain and Abel. Hurricane destroys things. Like Cain slew Abel. Yeah, the hurricane. It said it was supposed to be a horrible hurricane season, and knock on. I think this is real wood. Hopefully, it maintains that. Sucks for Florida and all the way up to North Carolina. I mean, I heard. I don't know. Does anybody here know someone so you can sun gaze with your eyes closed and still get benefits? Yeah, I mean, it's not. Obviously. I mean, think about it. It's like you can masturbate, you can have sex, raw dog, but put a condom on. It ain't just ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you'll get benefits. It's just it's like a slow drip, I guess. You're still getting some of the um I get what photons. I don't know, whatever use it, whatever word you want to call it. You're still getting some in there, but I would recommend definitely keeping your eyes open and using a tree. But I mean, think about it. If you're at the beach and it's noon and it's 90 some degrees out and you lay down, you just close your eyes and I mean, have you ever seen people at the beach? No, no. Here's what I'll tell you. People that live near the ocean, the beach, whatever, go and look and see how many of them wear eyeglasses. The clue here, you're not going to see it. And also, you could just stare out if you live near the water. You could stare at the water. It's reflecting that. The water is reflecting the sun into your eyes. You could use that. So if you live at the beach, I can guarantee it. I've lived in three beach towns, and I've only just thought about this right now. I cannot remember one person who lived there ever wearing glasses. I mean, maybe sunglasses occasionally, but they didn't wear. They didn't have any eye issues. They all had good eyesight. You could also do the thing where um, I I would guess, and I'm just taking a guess here. Okay, don't hold me to this, but because I know that you could. You could probably just do the staring into a candle thing. It's a source of light. I don't know how much of the same. So if you were to stare in a light bulb, I don't know if it's going to give you the same effect. Have you ever heard of full spectrum light bulbs? They're very expensive, but if you have normal light bulbs, right? There's a certain color they're putting off. Some are like halogen, right? They'll give off a bluish hue, and some will give off a more yellow or orange or whatever. You could go into uh, a Home Depot, a Lowe's, maybe even a Walmart has them. But they'll have a thing lined up with all of the different kind of light bulbs, and it'll show you the different colors. And then there's what's called full spectrum, and it basically gives you as much of the light spectrum as they're capable of producing. That the sun gives you 100% of reality. The light bulbs give you a fraction of it. So I don't know that it's something specifically to do. I'm just talking through this with you here. I don't know if it's something specifically to do with the sun itself or if it's just light in general. So my assumption is you could do the gazing into a candle or a full spectrum light bulb, perhaps. Hmm, who knows? Yeah, uh, Jason Nash, where are you from? Where do you reside? And do you know me? Have you, are you just one of, are you one of the lurkers on the backside of my channel that never says hi? Which is fine, but, and speaking of lighting, I apologize for the terrible lighting in here. I don't really have a lot of control over it. And also, speaking of light, let me go take a piss. You like that transition there? And in the interim, have some music, and I'll be right back. Let's see what I can do about giving you music. How do I do that? What do you guys think? Hmm, so many choices. Let's give you Mexican music. Let's see if this works. No, I don't want Mexican music. Here, let's give you New Orleans music. Yes, this is music I made if you want to know. Okay. Hi, I'm back. What else? What do you guys want to get into here? Monday, I could possibly take you guys on a street walking tour of the city. What day is it? Like the third? Yeah, third. They're filming a movie. I could film them filming a movie. That could be fun. You guys want to watch? I don't know what it is, but it's all over the city. So, man, I think it's I asked somebody, but I was kind of drunk, so I forget the name of it. But yeah, it's literally like half of the French Quarter, and they're filming in some really nice locations too. So hopefully it'll be good. Somebody put up a lot of money to do that. That's maybe some Spike Lee joint. I don't know. Ain't no way you're taking over the entire quarter on on a weekend. To shut down streets. Well, it's like not streets, but park. Can't park here because we got to put our trucks here and aligning the whole thing. The restaurants, all that shit. They put a lot of money into whatever they're filming right now. Because normally it's like a street or two. I know this is. I mean, this is like if anybody doesn't know, this is called like the little LA. I mean, Louisiana, LA, Los Angeles, like movies, Hollywood, blah blah blah. Because they do a lot of filming here. I'll take you on tour of that. Has anybody left here? Suppose I just crush this show right now. It's been an hour. I think we established what we need to establish on the mud floodiness. The maybe I could do a part two, and I'll dig deeper into it. Uh, we'll see. I guess I'll call this a show. It's good to see everybody. Remember the three rules of life: be yourself because everybody else is already taken. Be goofy, be weird, all that stuff. And if you feel like you have enough and you can share, sharing is caring. And if you share with me, that's the best. It's at the bottom there. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, blah blah blah. And if you can't share with me, please buy some crackhead a coffee or something. I don't know. I'll talk to y'all soon. I'll probably bring you guys on a tour in about an hour or so. We got some fun outside. Good to see everybody. Toodaloos.